I promise to you that in the next 2 hours, you will be excited with what you hear. You will be glad that you came here. And you will take something from this session which will help you and which will empower you. Towards the end of the session, I'm going to discuss about 4 main regrets that a human being has in life. And how is it that we can conquer each one of these regrets to ensure that we live a very, very beautiful life. Let's jump straight away into the session. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
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 Oranges? What do you see?
Yes.
Do you see some oranges?
Yes, oranges and vegetables.
Oranges.
Mangoes.
Excellent. Now, between these two pictures that we have, what would you say is a difference? Besides the number of items, if you just look at the oranges part of the picture, can you please key in the chat box? What do you think is the difference? Okay, Pramila has just typed in it's one is organized and the other is in a heap. The way the oranges are presented, spread in pyramid, quality, beautifully presented, arrangements, organized, presentation, alignment, beautiful, great. So you have got it beautifully well. Now let me ask you another question. If you go for shopping, would you imagine that the price of oranges on the left, which is beautifully stacked in a pyramid kind of a structure, will be more, or the price of the oranges on the right, which is, let's say, in a heap, would be more? Which one do you think will be easier for you to pay a premium? The left wala or the right wala?
Left one.
Left one. Left is what I am reading. Awesome. Brilliant. Now, here comes a question for you. You know, the oranges which are there on the left, there are no bruises, there are no damages. It is very beautifully, properly stacked. Now, chances are that the salary of the employee who has put the oranges on the left and the oranges on the right, chances are both these employees' salary would be the same, or more or less the same. Question is, what motivates some employees or some people to do their work with care and diligence, and what makes somebody do work for the sake of it without care and diligence? What would be the difference? Can you just think, and if you have an opinion, can you just type in the opinion over here? Commitment, self-efficacy, leadership is what Pramila and Suvarna is saying. Shripal, passion for excellence, organized with love, praise and rewards, motivation, perfectionist, ownership, wanting to create something beautiful. Thank you so much. Now, while there are a number of factors that motivates a person, there is one crucial factor, and that is the person who stacks the oranges on the left would be believing that when they do a great job, it is creating value. It is helping their business, it is helping the employees, and they are also doing something good. So their self belief and their self esteem is also very high. KMM is actually doing nation building work. How? Let me show you the KMM journey so far. It has been about 21 years. We have done program in 3 countries. There have been more than 65 cities where we have done this program. In the last 21 years, we have trained more than 600 schools. In this journey of 21 years, we have had 5,250 plus volunteers. Now hold your breath. We have done more than 30,737 sessions. We have trained more than 50,000 teachers. And we have trained lakhs of students. Lakhs of students. It has been a journey of love. Besides doing this training program in the classrooms where we have created significant impact, a few years ago we did a program with the Pune police where they instituted a series of sessions called Bharosa, where we worked with the juvenile kids. And if there is ever a time, I will share with you how hundreds of juvenile kids were taken out from a life of crime thanks to the work of KMM and the Pune police. We also do a very interesting program called Stars of the Future. Every year in all those schools where we take the programs, we announce that any child who scores within 1% of their school's historical high, this means if let's say the school's historical high has been 96%, in any child scored more than 95%, they are taken for a beautiful drive in a brand new Mercedes Benz. Every year, around 50 children qualify for this. You see the picture from the last event we held before COVID, where my dear friend Meher Padamji was the chief guest. The Mercedes Benz cars are provided by BU Bhandari. And this year, if any one of you wants to, you can also offer your Mercedes Benz for a drive to all these kids that you see over there. Now, more than 65% of these kids come from very, very poor backgrounds, from corporation schools, from the funded schools. And for them to wear a uniform like this, to go into a Mercedes Benz showroom, and to be driven by a chauffeur on the main roads, it's a sight to see. It This experience changes the life of these kids completely. Visualize about 20 brand new cars being driven back to back, and all of them having kids who have earned this drive by virtue of the effort that they have put in their studies. So, this is one of those things that we do in Keep Moving Movement besides taking the sessions inside the classroom. This year, as pandemic got over, we did something very, very interesting. We have an outstanding family which is associated with KMM for years. Swapnil, Mukul, Aushu, Tanvi, and Reshma. They run this firm called Jyotichand Bhaichand Jewelers. It's a jewelry firm in Hadapsar. This year, along with Radio 1, we launched a program where we have set up 21 libraries in the extremely poor schools of Pune where kids don't have money to even buy uniforms or school notebooks. And at least 21 libraries will definitely be installed. And we have also told them, in case there are more libraries, we'll fund more libraries and we'll create more libraries. The fact is, this country needs a lot of help. The fact is, your family, your business needs a lot of help. The fact is, the potential of India as a country is extraordinary. No other country in the world has its roots in spirituality, science, as well as in the world of abundance with money and business. India is the only country in the world with a very rich legacy, and India can lead the whole globe in a beautiful, peaceful future. But for this, we need help. By the way, let me ask you a quiz. Let's do a quiz. I'm going to ask you two very simple questions. Listen to the questions carefully. Let's say all of us want a change, right? All of us believe that the world should be lifted, our society should be lifted, our family should be lifted. Now, here is my question for all of you. To make a difference, what percentage of people need to take coordinated action? You think 2%, 5%, 10%, 15%? To make a difference to the world, what percentage of people need to take coordinated action? You know what coordinated action means? Action together, action in a rhythm, action at the same time, action where we are coming together as one force. To make a difference, what percentage of people need to take coordinated action? And among the 100 plus friends who have answered, you can see what people believe. You know, this is a very dynamic poll. Whereas you are putting your answers, you can see what others are thinking at the same time. So we can see that about 36% of people among 144, 5, 6, 7 believe that just 2% people is enough to make a difference. And 5% believe that it's 5, 16% believe it's 5%, 24% believe it's 10%, and another 24% believe that it is about 15%. Okay, can I close the poll now? Well, Kushi Shah beautifully writes, one person, I guess. Yes, it begins with one person, but when it comes to coordinated action, the first option looks like what most people believe in. I will tell you the answer in a little while. Here comes the second poll for all of you. To make a difference, 2% is required. But to change everything, what percentage of people will be required to take coordinated action? To change everything, मतलब एकदम downside up change, revolutionary change. Not just to make a difference, to change. 2%, 5%, 10%, 15%. 15% seems to be leading the pack over here right now. But the second poll answers are coming much faster than the first one. Little experience and you're becoming very, very smooth. 51% of my friends over here believe that 15% people are required. Well, let me share with you good news. 2% of population. If 2% of population takes coordinated action, it makes a difference. And if 5% do, they can change everything. So the good news is to change the world, we don't need everybody to change. To change the world, just 5% is more than enough. This simple math also means that most people rarely do anything. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they are afraid to speak up and commit. Maybe it is simply easier to wait and watch. Sometimes it hurts when friends and colleagues we thought we can count on shirk and hide. But everyone has their own narrative, their own life, their own issues, their own fears. You know, it's easy for us to say, if I were you, then what I would have done is. But, darlings, we are not them, they are not us. Now, listen carefully. When we focus on the ones who didn't help, we are undermining our work. It's a distraction and a disservice. So, what does KMM believe in? What do any revolutionary believe in? What does any movement believes in? Shun the non-believers. Ignore the well-meaning but unmoved. Instead, find and connect and celebrate the people who care about to make a difference. Let me show you a picture of the ACs that we had. You see these people? These are the people who are believers. These are the people who put hours every year to make KMM happen. These are the people who will stretch themselves, make some sacrifices, make a lot of adjustments, but they ensure that this work not only has life breathed into it, but it has power breathed into it. And I'll speak more about these people and what KMM does in a little while. Whenever we need to bring about a change, whenever we need to bring about a change, there are certain fights that we have. And when these fights cripple us, we give up. But there has to be a time in life when chaos has to give way to order. Looks like there are too many things in the head, and how am I going to fight and win? But for all of us, there has to be a time in life when chaos gives way to order. There has to be a time in life when you believe success is inevitable. See this mountaineer over here? When people look at him, they might say, oh my God, nothing is going to happen. They get scared. But the mountaineer believes that success is inevitable. A few more feet, a few more steps, a few more stretches, and they will reach the top. There has to be a time in life when you believe in the power of your imagination. When there is no proof in the past, when there is no proof in the past, but you go out and create result, like our dear friend Arunima Senata did. There has to be a time when you feel you have the ability to harness some kind of elemental force where you are able to feel something that others are not able to feel. There will be a time when you have a pervasive sense of destiny, a pervasive sense of destiny that something super precious is going to be created by you. There will be times when you believe the old reality is about to end, a new reality is about to begin. Similarly, there are times when you believe you are born to fulfill a need of the society, a prophecy. And that is what KMM offers as an opportunity to all of us. When others find struggles, they scram their brains, jumble the codes, short the wiring, get stressed, become anxious. My darling friends, people like you and me believe we are born to conquer it all. Today, times are difficult. COVID has changed a lot of things in the world. COVID has changed a lot of things in the world. By the way, to entertain you, let me ask you this question. 10 years ago, we did not have Zoom. We didn't have WhatsApp, which was so pervasive. We did not have digital payments. We did not have 3G and 4G. And all of us have survived COVID thanks to Zoom, thanks to WhatsApp, thanks to digital payments, thanks to 3G and 4G. Because of them, brilliant coordination was done and the vaccine was invented. Can you visualize a time 10 years ago if COVID had happened? How would humanity have faced it? Interesting, isn't it? Well, these kind of events are called punctuated equilibrium. It's a term from natural history, which means things change very slow and very gradually. Then a time comes when, boom, there is a big change. And as a big change happens, the whole world changes. In the recent past, smartphones is one such boom. It has changed the way the world studies, the way it connects, the way we travel, the way we work. Everything has changed thanks to smartphone and 4G technology. COVID was another punctuated equilibrium where because of one disease, the whole world came to a stop. Earlier, in about 50 to 75 years, one such event will happen. In these times, we can expect 10 such events in our lifetime. Now, visualize when COVID happened, how much damage happened, how much anxiety happened, how many unfortunate deaths happened. Do you think you are ready to take 10 such shocks in your life? Where everything about the way you live changes? Well, this is the future. In these times, educating kids won't be enough. Making them strong, resilient, adaptable will be necessary. And this is where keep moving movement comes in. What is keep moving movement? What do we do in these keep moving movement programs? Every year, we conduct 7 life transforming, life skills creating sessions for kids in schools, in classes 9th and 10th across the length and breadth of our country. Volunteers like you are trained in public speaking, in internalization, in implementation, and you are allocated a school where you will go and take these sessions for children. In the last 2 years, thanks to COVID, the whole program happened online. Pre COVID, the whole program would happen offline, which means speakers would go to the schools and take these sessions inside the schools. Post COVID, we are going to have an hybrid version where in some cities, volunteers will go to the school and physically take the sessions. And in cities where we do not have volunteers, like let's say Ludhiana, we will have volunteers from across the globe taking the sessions online for the children in those schools. These sessions are extremely powerful. They are very engaging. They are filled with life, love, laughter. These sessions are not prescriptive uh, sessions where I instruct you on what to do. These sessions are very engaging, where the kids come up with the answers about what they believe they should be doing. When you become a part of KMM, you learn a lot of things about how to engage people, how to put across an idea. If there is a difference of opinion between you and others, how do you have conversations around these differences of opinion, etc., etc.? And in a little while, I'll come back to you and tell you how will you benefit by being a part of KMM. But before I go there, sometimes people have this question. Naren, are 7 sessions enough to transform the lives of kids? I mean, we don't know those kids, and for years, parents have tried, and yet they seem to have resigned to the fact that they may not be able to change their kids. Teachers struggle with the children in school, and they have also given to the school, to the children, values, ethics, stories, but still the teachers also seem to be resigned and say, I don't think I'll be able to change the kids. So, Naren, will one experience of 7 sessions be enough to transform the life of children? My answer is yes. A very definitive yes. I heard about a lady called Mala who was a postgraduate in psychology. Mark you, not just graduate, but postgraduate in psychology, whose love didn't work out. She couldn't marry the man she was in love with. Hurt, dejected, she went on to commit suicide. I heard about this incident in about 5 minutes' time, and I asked myself this question. While this education system seems to be great because it is producing fantastic engineers, scientists, doctors, entrepreneurs, but what is wrong in our system where a postgraduate in psychology is not able to deal with one event and one episode of their life when things did not work out for them? And this question led to the creation of Keep Moving movement. Yes, one experience is more than enough. 2015, 24th, 25th, and 26th of Jan, we had a 3 day residential event called Sapre Vedare. It was a convention. In this convention, we had a speech, a speaking, if I may call it a competition, where the title was One in a Million. I remember Kuldeep Ruchandani went up to the dais and spoke about how his father never gave up on Kuldeep, even when Kuldeep was not able to pass the final exams of company secretaryship, and how his father's support made Kuldeep who he is today. And inspired his father, Kuldeep said, I want to impact millions of parents and I want to create a parenting revolution. Sitting in the audience, when I heard Kuldeep say this, my thought was this is something which must come alive. And with the support of Joe and Paresh, we started Wow Parenting. Good news is, a few months ago, Wow Parenting was voted as the best parenting advice platform in the whole world by Best Apps USA. In 5 years' time, we have been able to create the best parenting platform in the world thanks to a 2 minute speech given by Kuldeep. I remember a few years ago, Vikas Bhandari and me were having a conversation. Vikas wanted to expand, but had a little fear and hesitation. कि यार पैसे लगेंगे, कोई मुझे पैसे देगा क्या? And in a few minutes, I told him, तू पूछ के तो देख यार. That is Vikas and his lovely wife, Pallavi. Behind every successful man, there is a woman. And this huge showroom that they've created called CarX by Bhakti Cars. And a few minutes conversation led to probably the best car accessory showroom in the whole country. Yes, one experience is enough to transform lives. See, human beings by nature are problem solvers. We by nature see a problem and we get excited to solve it. So we see that traveling across distances takes a lot of effort and the horses get tired. So we invent the car and then we invent the aircraft. We realize crossing over rivers can lead to a lot of development.
नहीं नहीं हम
We
कैसे
invent ships. By nature, human beings are problem solvers. COVID 19 happens, the virus attacks humanity, we all come together, and so fast we create a vaccine. Human beings, you and me, by nature, have the capacity to solve problems. We are problem solvers. Now, if you read books, you will realize what used to be social fiction. We use the word social fiction because what was fiction, through the effort of the society, became a reality. We used to look at the moon and wonder, wo kaisa hoga? And we reached there. You know, in science fiction, we would have seen, especially in the earlier Star Trek times, that we are doing video conferencing. And that time, 2G, 3G, none of them, this was a reality. So there was no way we could have actually made video conferencing happen. But this is how we solve problems. अच्छा ये एक idea है, करें क्या? What was fiction becomes truth as science works to make it happen. Imagination gives direction to this science. Let me speak about a brilliant statement of fiction today given to us by Muhammad Yunus. And I'm sure some people in humanity are working together to make this happen also. Have you heard about Muhammad Yunus? He says this extraordinary statement, and that is poverty should be in museums. You and me in our life should progress so much, and we should be able to make the world progress so much. In the next generation, nobody should be poor. And when we mention to our grandchildren about poverty, they should not know what poverty is because they wouldn't have seen poverty. And then to show them poverty, we should take them to a museum and show how poor people used to be. So Muhammad Yunus of Grameen Bank, Bangladesh, says such an incredibly powerful statement that poverty should be in museums. Well, if we do not imagine it, it cannot happen. And only when we imagine it, one day it will. This is what KMM is also attempting to do. Imagine a country and later on the whole world that as a part of the school system, we not only get the right education to earn money, to earn a livelihood, we also get enough inputs on life skills so that we chase all the success that we wish to have. We contribute as much as is humanly possible, and we stay as happy as one human being can be. Where this world is a place of celebrations and happiness, and every human being, come what may, believes in themselves and their life and in humanity. Today looks like social fiction. But then, if we don't imagine it, it cannot happen. When we work with the youth, children who are in class 9th and 10th, magic happens. Their energy rubs off onto us. We look at their smartness and we are bowled over कि यार आजकल के बच्चों में कितना दिमाग है यार. It's good fun to be with these children. Hey, by the way, speaking about these children, chalo, let me ask you another set of questions. Here is quiz time. I'm going to ask you questions about Gen Z. Here is the question. How much time do you think it takes for Gen Z to decide whether the content that they are reading on their phone or on their laptop is worth their time or not? 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 8 seconds, and 10 seconds. You know, for you and me, how much time we decide, how much time we take to decide whether the content is worth it or not? We'll read it aram say 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Maybe we'll see something also for a little while. And yes, most of you seem to have got it right. You understand Gen Z well. The truth is, they take about 3 seconds to decide whether the content is worth their time or not. Now, to these kids, you're going to go inside the school to decide what you're going to say, what you're going to speak to them is getting their attention or not. And we are going to train you for that. Next question. What percentage of the Gen Z people prefer real people in ads and not celebrities? Not celebrities. Many of these companies and product owners believe that celebrities will help them sell the product. An extraordinary survey was done to find out Gen Z, are they influenced by celebrities to buy normal products? I mean, will you see Amitabh Bachchan doing an advertisement on what is that sirwala tel lal color ka? And because Amitabh came and said, use this tail, somebody's going to really go and buy it? Well, the product owners think so, but Gen Z, 72% of Gen Z prefer real people in ads. Otherwise, they don't trust the brand. Isn't it brilliant? Now, here comes a third, very, very powerful question. What percentage of Gen Z is likely to give a feedback to you? No, the Gen Z goes to a restaurant to eat food, and if somebody sincerely wants a feedback, what percentage of people will give a feedback? And if not a feedback, how many of them will go online and post in review about the experience that they had? Once again, the answer is 66% of people who are Gen Z would love and look forward to give feedback. They believe their opinion is important, and that is why they give feedbacks. Who gives feedbacks? When you believe that your opinion is important, it's likely that somebody will give you a feedback. Next question, very, very important question. What percentage of Gen Z wants to participate in social activism? You know what social activism means? They see something is not okay around them and they would like to get involved, either in creating opinion or in generating resources or getting personally involved in solving that problem. Why am I asking this question? Many people believe that Gen Z is not responsible, they are entitled, they don't do enough, they are selfish. Hence, this question: what percentage of Gen Z do you want to believe they want to participate in social activism? Once again, the answer is right. 70% of Gen Z would like to get involved in social activism. If they find a platform sincere and worth it, if they believe that this group of people are well meaning and they will actually make a difference, 70% of kids would like to get involved and help to solve a problem. Okay, enough serious stuff. Here is the next question, which is a little on the lighter side. How many times does Gen Z check social media in a day? In a day, how many times do you think they check their social media account? अच्छा एम ही हाँ जो सबसे हाईएस्ट है ना उसी को दे रहे हो तुम लोग 100 कुछ भी बाकी सब हाईएस्ट हाईएस्ट है तो इसको भी हाईएस्ट दे दो ए भगवान थोड़ा सोच के लिखो 100 मतलब क्या अगर वो 16 घंटा अगर मतलब जागते हैं और 100 मतलब हर 10 मिनट में एक बार सोशल मीडिया चेक करते हैं उफ इट शुड बी 100 प्लस अजीत we are not talking about you we are talking about Gen Z Yeah, of course it includes WhatsApp. Well, the truth is 75. 75 times. Mean once average 15 minutes of their waking up time, they go to social media. I mean, if my calculations are right. Ah, and the last question, how, what percentage of Gen Z is most likely to promote a brand? Which means if they like something, they'll go and tell it. If they enjoy a restaurant, they will post a review which is favorable. How likely is it that they want to tell 10 more people, hey, dudes? Acha, by the way, do you know what is the female of dudes? Dudettes. हाँ सच्ची इट dudettes. बिकॉज डूड का डूड्स तो नहीं हो सकता, डूडी भी नहीं हो सकता, डूडेट्स. ओके, डूडी मत बोलना, वो दूधी का हलवा होता है, वो दो अलग चीज है. Dude is dudettes. How, what percentage of Gen Z is likely to promote a brand? Ah, these are the answers that I see. Okay. Well, 69% of them are likely to promote a brand. So some of you know your Gen Zs, some of you had some good tukkas in the process. Some of you do not know the Gen Zs at all, but it's okay. As you become a part of KMM, you will get a lot of insights in this younger generation and you will learn how to get the best out of them. Why KMM? What does it do to you? Money should never be the biggest motivating factor of a person's life. Money is a beautiful tool and it helps us to do everything. But if money becomes a filter for decisions, our base of life will become greed or fear. Greed that I want more, fear that what I have, somebody wants it, or it will go away, or tomorrow what I will have will be less. The sooner you realize that what gives magic to your life is either doing meaningful work or nurturing deep relationships. The sooner you realize these, the faster you will live a very powerful, empowered, exciting, fulfilled life. In Keep Moving Movement, you will find both meaningful work. Why do we call it meaningful work? You're going to share with kids in school about how to live, let's say, a life with conquered fear. How would you like to live a life where no setback ever makes you doubt yourself? How would you like to live a life where you understand how to make decisions and right choices for yourself? Would you like to live a life where you know how to deal with difficult people? Would you like to live a life where you actually dream big and think big? Now, visualize when you go inside a classroom and you take a session around these topics and you have prepared for these topics. You've heard me speak about this. You have got trained on how to take these sessions inside the classroom. In your groups, which we call as the AC groups, you will listen to different people speak about their perspective. For example, when we have a session on how to deal with setbacks, and let's say two people in your group speak about the kind of setbacks they have had. Let's say one person may be a cancer survivor and she might be the happiest person in that group, and she talks about, I got cancer. It took me about 14 months to get out of it. But today the kind of life I live, and suddenly you look at her and you realize she's a cancer survivor and she's happy. And what is the setback that I am thinking about? Uh, a friend spoke bad about me behind my back. That's the setback which has put me off track. And this person has cancer and she's smiling. You suddenly understand our life is pretty cool. We are truly blessed. And what are we complaining about? And your life changes. And you go inside the classroom and you share these insights with the conviction from deep within. Because you took the session, it conviction becomes a part of your life. And when you saw some faces register your statements, and you know what you said has got etched in their minds forever, you can literally see some faces change right in front of your eyes. And you feel true power because you are able to influence another life. You are doing meaningful work. The self belief that you have when you do meaningful work is unparalleled to anything that you might be doing in your life. Sometimes with these kids, you develop strong bond and deep relationships. Sometimes with your AC, you develop a strong bond. Sometimes in your team, you develop strong bonds. And with some of you, we will develop a very strong bond. When you have deep relationships in life, you can go through anything in life. One of them is enough: meaningful work and deep relationships. Keep moving movement will give you an opportunity to have both. And what you learn will help you to succeed, make all the money, have all the spotlight in the world. But that's not the objective, that's a byproduct. Meaningful work and deep relationships is the objective. What a life it will be. Ha. And for some of you, here is an exciting point. Being a part of KMM will help you conquer things like the fear of public speaking. It's said that the greatest fear in the world is the fear of dying, and the second biggest fear in the world is public speaking. In Keep Moving Movement, you will be trained to do public speaking. Ah, if all of this has to be done by you, what is expected out of you in Keep Moving Movement? And what is the process by which we execute Keep Moving Movement? Well, three things are expected from you if you decide to join Keep Moving Movement. In the Vedas, they say you experience spirituality when you live life with Sat, Chit, and Anand. Anand, of course, is pure acceptance and that leads to happiness. Chit, of course, is alertness, consciousness. You are living moment to moment. But the first word, Sat, is very interesting. If you look into these stories and mythologies, or if you are a Salman Khan fan, you will understand the meaning of the word Sat. Often we understand Sat as truth, but Vedas explains Sat in a different way. Why? They say everything is Maya. So truth is a perception. And then they say, Sat means what you say, you do it. That's why Raja Harishchandra was called Satyavadi Radha Harishchandra, Satyavan Radha Harishchandra. And of course, Salman Khan would say, जब मैंने कोई बात कह दी तो मैं खुद का भी नहीं सुनता. You know what I mean? Now that is Sat. Sat means what you say is what you do. That is Sat. It's extremely powerful. Which means you are not looking for escape doors in life. It means you find it very easy to be committed. It means you're not scared and you deliver what you promise. It means you are dependable. When my father was active in business, I found that he is not taking anything in writing from his friends with whom he is buying materials, selling materials, and taking money and giving money. One day when I asked him, "Ab likha padi kyun nahi karte ho? Why don't you make an MOU or something like that?" I remember Papa's answer. Papa would say, "बेटा जो इंसान सही है ना, वहां लिखा पढ़ी की जरूरत नहीं. If he's a good human being, I don't need anything in writing. और बेटा अगर इंसान गलत है ना, वहां लिखा पढ़ी कुछ कर नहीं सकता. If the person's intention is wrong, even if you have an MOU, he will find a way to cheat or to escape. Hence, deal with people who believe in being Satyavadi. Deal with people who mean what they say. Which means if I have told Shripal that expect my payment on 20th of May, Shripal should be able to have this very clear conviction that दुनिया इधर की उधर हो जाए, 20 तारीख को पेमेंट आ जाएगा. नरेन ने बोला है ना, उन्होंने अगर बोला तो वो होगा. वो 20 तारीख को फोन करके ये नहीं बोलेंगे आज बैंक बंद है कल देता हूं. नहीं होगा. 20 तारीख को बोला है ना, अगर बैंक बंद है तो 19 को मिलेगा, लेकिन 21 को नहीं मिलेगा. You know, from a volunteer, we expect Sat. That if you are committing to keep moving movement, you are committed. If you are saying, I would like to go and take the sessions inside the school, you will manage your life, but you will not give an excuse on why you can't take the session. You will go and take the sessions inside the schools. If you're committing to keep moving movement and you're saying, I will be present on all the 7 sessions where Naren will explain to us why and how to take the session. I'm not going to say picnic है, internet down हो गया, मैं थोड़ा travel कर रहा है, मेरी तबीयत ठीक नहीं है. Even if you are in the ICU of a hospital, you will still be listening to the session and if possible, see it live. I'm expecting this kind of commitment. Without commitment, nothing great can ever be achieved. We are committed. Naren, is it practical? 1000% practical. September 4th, 1999, I took my first life lessons on a Sunday morning. Since then, 23 years, I have not missed a single Sunday morning life lesson. 23 years. Now visualize how many Sunday mornings. So is it practical? 1000% practical if you make it a priority. If it is your by the way, dekhenge, sochenge, if nothing else is there, I will do this, then keep moving movement is not for you, darlings. It's not for you. We can't change the world through half commitments. I understand that is okay when you're taking a session in Zoom. You can wearing your shorts, you can be in your boxers, and you can have a coat and a tie. Half dressed, you will still look very handsome. Till somebody rings the doorbell and you have to get up and go, then everybody knows you were in your boxers and they feel like boxing you. चलता है वो केएमएम में नहीं चलेगा. There are no half measures. Executing KMM is a very complex exercise. 300 schools, 500 classrooms, different speakers with different needs and different convenience of timings, different places in the country. A lot of pieces have to fall into place for the sessions to happen. And here we need committed people. So, what is your commitment required for? 7 sessions where I'll explain to you how to take the sessions. And within 2 days, your AC will call for an AC meeting. And the AC meeting timings will be prefixed across the next 7 sessions. You have to be committed to attend these AC meetings. Know the timing of the AC meetings. And you have to be there in the AC meetings. Why? A lot of doubts get cleared in the AC meetings. A lot of life stories are discussed in the AC meetings. A lot of personal experiences are shared in the AC meetings. So you understand the power and depth of the session during the AC meetings. And if the AC meeting is from 8 to 9:30 p.m., you cannot come in at 8:45. You have to learn how to manage your time. This year, we are laying a lot of emphasis on commitment. This year, we are paying a lot of emphasis on top class quality. 2% is enough, and 5% can bring about a complete change. We already have more than 300 committed volunteers in KMM. We would love to have 300, let's say we would love to have about 500 committed volunteers. We already have 300, so we need 200 more. And with that, we can create a very powerful KMM. If you are looking forward to a life where people look at you and say Satyavadi, where people look at you and say, iske commitment mein kya power hai? If people look at you and believe this person means what they say and they do what they say, then use KMM as an opportunity to transform yourself into that kind of a person. So, what will be required from you for you to participate in Keep Moving movement? Commitment of your time and your words. Satya should become a part of your life. Sat Chit Anand is the way to spirituality, says Vedas. And who knows what this kind of a commitment can do to your life. The second thing is excellence. If you take something, you should be able to say, this is the best I could have done. You should be proud of what you did. Like, I'm very proud of how we are taking today's orientation session. I'm talking to you without any holds about my expectations from you. And I'm going to make some promises to you. And I'm going to live up to my commitments to you. And this is possible if I have a passion for excellence, not otherwise. What does passion for excellence do to you? It makes you discover yourself. It helps you to be ahead of others. It makes you proud of you. It makes people trust you because you are delivering excellence. It makes people want to work with you. You become a huge magnet when you live through excellence. And in Keep Moving movement, each one of us who commits to become a volunteer will live through excellence. And as we live through excellence, we will deliver KMM excellently well. As we deliver excellence, children in the class, the youth of tomorrow, will learn how to excel in life. I remember going to a school in Bombay to take a session. Caroline Vaz is the principal of that school. And the teacher inside the classroom in a question answer session asked me, why excellence? Doesn't excellence create a lot of stress? And I remember telling her, forget about excellence in every aspect of life. Let's look at when you look at a classroom, what do you see? My darlings, just listen to me very carefully for the next 2-3 minutes. And she said, I see about 40-45 children. I asked her, tell me a little more. She said, some are disciplined, some are not. Some listen to the teachers, some don't. Tell me more. Some come from poor backgrounds, some are from rich backgrounds. Some come from stable families, some are not from stable families. They said, tell me more. She said, some have paid the school fees and some have not paid the school fees. Tell me more. Some are attentive, some are not attentive. And I smiled and told her, everything that you have said is true. But everything you have said talks to me about the past. Now, how about looking at a classroom and saying, inside my classroom, there is a possible Supreme Court justice. And lawyers in the whole country will swear by the balanced, nuanced, deep, fair justice that this Supreme Court judge gives. Can you look at the classroom and visualize one of the best cardiac surgeons of the future sitting in your class? And he has such a beautiful heart. When other doctors give up on certain patients because the surgery is complicated and it might give them a bad name if the surgery fails, this person looks forward to complicated cases saying, if I can solve it, then all my education has some meaning. And he does a lot of surgeries for poor children free. Can you visualize inside the classroom a cricketer sitting who has become the best cricketer in the world yet stays very grounded and humble and passes on this knowledge freely to as many people who seek him out? Can you see some top class industrialists inside your classroom? Can you see some other top class professionals inside the classroom? Now, you don't know who's going to be what. But as you take a session, can you believe that today, the way I take the session, some of these people will experience the turning point of their life? And if this has to be the turning point of their life, I need to deliver the session with excellence. If listening to Kuldeep for 2 minutes turns my life and creates wow parenting, if listening about Mala in 5 minutes starts Keep Moving movement, you delivering something with excellence will turn somebody's life. We can't do excellent things ordinarily. And when we are ordinary, we can't expect excellence in life. So, commitment, satya, excellence. What is excellence? When you look back at your deed and said, brilliant. I don't know how it happened, but I couldn't have done better than this. Now, that is excellence. So, I need your cooperation, commitment of your time. I need excellence so that we truly impact children in the opportunity that we have and in the process transform our life. And three, I need cooperation. Your team members might need your cooperation. Your area commander might need your cooperation. The chief coordinator might need your cooperation. Sometimes, unfortunately, the school requires a little of cooperation. Cooperation comes from a big heart where you say, Acha theek hai, I'm flexible, I'll adjust to your needs. In short, what you need to live an excellent life is what is required from you for Keep Moving movement. Commitment, excellence, and cooperation. If you can give these three, then welcome to this nation building work of Keep Moving movement. In turn, I promise you extraordinary life transformation. I promise you a life where you want to believe in yourself. I promise you a life where you would have done some meaningful work and you feel truly, deeply proud of yourself. I promise you some people in your life who are extraordinary role models, who are success stories, happiness stories, and contribution stories mixed in one and presented for you. I promise to you a movement which will create a required impact in the future of our nation. So you give me those three: commitment, excellence, and cooperation. And I will give you pride, meaningful work, deep relationships, and personal transformation. Now, let me take a little time, maybe about 10-15 minutes, and explain to you how Keep Moving movement gets executed. When you register for Keep Moving movement, if you are a new volunteer, you are trained in public speaking. So, we have something called the public speaking training, which is done. On Moodle, there are these recorded, predefined, beautifully created sessions which will teach to you about public speaking. So you'll be expected to go through that public speaking training and develop yourself as a public speaker. On the 7 Sundays where these sessions are there, you need to be present. After the Sunday session, where I will train you on how to take the sessions, there will be a meeting with your area coordinator and a team. What happens in these meetings? There is an open discussion on the session. There is clearing of each other's doubts. There is an implementation strategy. And here, one team member, maybe the AC himself or herself, will give a mock session on how to take the sessions in your school. After being present in the AC meeting, you will give a mock depending on mutual convenience. And this is where cooperation comes in between mutual convenience of you and the area coordinator or another senior person in your team. So you'll give a mock to a person. In the mock, you will take systematic feedbacks, you will improve, and then you will give, if necessary, a final mock. Before you actually take the session inside the school, you'll be expected to implement that session in your life. For example, if that session is how do you plan your day? By the time you go to the school to take the session, you should have become better in planning your day, which means you go to take the session as an authority and not just as a communicator. After you have done implementation, you go to take the session in the school. On the day of the session, on the day of the session, when you leave home, you will inform your coordinator that I have left home, so that we know that after the travel time, you will still be able to reach the school on time. We don't take any session late. We don't ever ask the school to reschedule our sessions. We will reach there 20 minutes before time. Every KMM volunteer reaches their school at least 20 minutes before the session time. Needless to say, you will be given the date sheets with all the 7 sessions. And as we get confirmation from the schools about the schedules, as you are allocated different schools, you will be told the dates of the sessions in the school also. Now, your needs will be taken care of. So, let's say, for example, Chiranjeev is over here and he is one of the most awesome KMM volunteers we have. Chiranjeev has to reach his office by 9:30. So, in the KMM volunteers form, Chiranjeev can write, I need a school where the session gets over by 9 a.m. So, the team in the background, the back office team, will ensure Chiranjeev is given a school where after he completes the session, he should be able to reach his office before time. Let's say Girish is there and Girish says, Tuesdays and Fridays I cannot take the sessions because of prior commitments. Can you give me a school on a Wednesday, Thursday, or a Saturday? Again, the back office team will start working and we will ensure he gets a school in that time. There are times when some volunteers say we cannot take the sessions before 10 a.m. because before 10 a.m. I am committed. Give me a school between 10 to 2 p.m. and I'll go and take the sessions. So the back office will again work to find out which is the school where we can take the session at 12:30 or 12:45 and allocate those schools to you. Which means your needs are beautifully taken into consideration. And schools are allocated as far as possible, 99% based on your convenience and your needs. There may be times when your need does not match any other school's requirements. There we'll have a conversation to find, is there a solution, is there a mid ground that we can reach? Otherwise, most of the times we are able to match your convenience, your requirements with the requirements of the school. So when you leave for the school, you will inform the coordinator. After the session, once again, you will inform the coordinator so that we know that it is done and you can share your feelings and your thoughts. कि session बहुत अच्छा हो गया, session में this was the disturbance or distraction and this is how I handled it. Live spontaneously, I could think of a brilliant metaphor and I used that metaphor. So we start creating a very solid knowledge bank on how to take these sessions in the future in a more powerful way. And after you have informed the coordinator, it is time for you to celebrate. Go somewhere, have chai, have samosa. Every school has 4, 5, 6, 10 speakers. Together, if you can take another 20, 25 minutes to let the session seep in and listen to everybody's experience, that's a beautiful way to complete the experience of the whole session. So this is how you will execute the KMM sessions if you are a speaker. If you are a partner, it's very simple. You meet with the area coordinator and team, open discussion, clearing of doubt, implementation strategy. Now, what's the difference between a partner and a speaker? A speaker is somebody who's confident of taking the session inside the classroom. A partner is somebody who's not yet confident, who says, I need a little more exposure, a little more training. I would like to see the speakers inside the classroom, and then I will graduate to become a partner after 2, 3 sessions. So, normally, partners become speakers after 2, 3 sessions. And in these 2, 3 sessions, they help the speaker in getting ready for the sessions. But they go through everything: 7 sessions, AC meetings, attending the mocks, giving the mocks. In worst case situation, sometimes some partners get promoted as speakers within a session or two. Naren, what if I am not very sure if I can be the partner or the speaker, but I would still like to contribute? What if I have to travel a lot and I'm not very sure if I can commit myself for these 7 Sundays, 7 AC meetings, but I would still like to contribute? Option number one, be a speaker. Option number two, if you're a little less confident, be a partner. But this year, we have option number three also for you. What do I mean by that? This year, KMM has a lot of work for people who, for some reason, are not able to be speakers or partners. By the way, what I'm going to share in the next 7, 8 minutes, those of you who are speakers and partners can also contribute in these areas. The future is largely digital. Very soon, we are going to morph a lot of things that we do completely digital. Our power to reach out to lakhs of students is only possible through digital. Coupled with digital, there are many other things where we believe you can play a role in making KMM happen excellently well. First, if you are good in technology, you can help us to create a tech platform where maybe we can create a huge community of KMM students. Now visualize we have 50,000 children that we train this year. 50,000 children. Now let's visualize 50,000 children means if there are 50 children inside a classroom, we are talking about 1,000 classrooms. Now visualize there is one champion in that class. Visualize there are 10 children inside the class who would like to keep learning, keep growing, and keep in touch with you or keep moving movement for the regular doses of their life. Can we create a website and a platform where kids can come and register through their email ID? So that every now and then, if we have something for them, all we need to do is send them an invite, send them an invitation. And for the next 2 years, 3 years, 6 years, 10 years, they are in touch with us. And in case they need any support, any guidance in life, and in the ecosystem of Keep Moving Movement, if we have such people, we immediately connect those people. So let's say there are some students who would love to do things in technology, and they like to work on ERP systems. And they are saying that every company in the future will require a good, solid ERP system, enterprise resource planning, where they can get the data together, make the data intelligent, measure everything, reach out to people. So, एक ERP चाहिए. And a student says, Naren, can you connect me to somebody who can tell me or take me deeper through ERP? And we would say, Arey, we have Nadaling Kunj is there. He runs a beautiful organization called InfoWorld. He is a master in ERP systems. Okay, let me arrange for a video call between Kunj and you guys, and then you can take it ahead. Which means we are giving 7 sessions to the children inside the classroom, but we are not limiting ourselves to that. We are offering the ecosystem of Keep Moving Movement to these children. And for us to do that well, we will need a good tech platform. Tomorrow, let's say we have access to Karambir Singh Kanga. By the way, we might have Karambir Singh Kanga as one of the chief guests. If you don't know who's Karambir Singh Kanga, when the terrorist attack happened in Taj, the general manager of the hotel was Karambir Singh Kanga. His wife and his kids were in the top floor, and he was told that terrorists might reach that place very fast. He was in the ground floor, and he said, I'm over here, and my responsibility is first to the hotel and to the guests. I will take care of them. He lost his wife and his kids in that attack. And when he was told that they have passed away, he just took about 1 minute to register, and then he said, the guests still need me, let me take care of them. He sacrificed his family to take care of the guests. How does somebody do that? What kind of a steel is required for a person to make such choices? What is the sense of duty that is so deep that your personal interests go to the background and public interest drives you? So, in all probabilities, we'll have Karambir Singh Kanga as one of the chief guests for one of the sessions this year. And I'm sure that many of us will cry that day and we'll have an electrifying moment. Now, let's say we have Karambir as one of the mentors. And 4 months down the line, 6 months down the line, maybe in December, maybe in Jan, we ask Karambir to take a session for children. And all the children who have registered on the KMM platform, they get invited, exclusive, only children, class 9th and 10th. They're going to be there in the audience, and Karambir will speak to them about a sense of duty. Can you visualize what can happen when children are listening to such a role model? I'm electrified by us experiencing him. But we are what, 500? What if 50,000 children are online listening to such a man? And the kind of meaning and purpose that they can give to their life. कितना अच्छा हो जाएगा. But we need a tech platform to execute this work effortlessly. So let's say one of you says, Naren, leave it to me. I will drive the entire tech work. I am a techie, so I know what is required. I just need somebody to create visuals, somebody to give me videos, and I want 3 meetings with you, and I will drive the whole thing for you. Now, for some reason, you may not be able to participate as a speaker. Maybe you are a speaker and you would like to participate in tech. Brilliant. So we need somebody who can help us in creating a beautiful tech platform. We need people who can say, Naren, we will drive the outreach in social media. Whatever posts are put, just tag us over there. We will forward it. We will share. Or every time I take a session, whether it's as an AC, whether it's as a volunteer, whether inside the classroom, I will ensure that we do something and we put it in the social media. Or, Naren, I would like to drive the complete social media angle. With the 500 volunteers, I will create a plan. Everybody will share their things in one place and I will create some magic out of it. And I'll ensure that the work that we are doing is reaching millions of people through social media. People from across the globe should reach out to us and say, would you like to have KMM done in our place also? You know how beautiful it will be if we get invitations from people across the world, volunteers from across the world. Somebody who's seen it somewhere and say, I want to be a part of this movement. Now, physically, we can't travel and make everybody a part of it. But in social media, we can reach out to people through their phones, through their laptops, anywhere in the world. So let's say a few of you says that in social media evangelist, make me a part of it. I will go all out and create magic out of that. Maybe some of you are very well connected to different people, different schools. Let's say we have Pramila over here who is a leading educationist and who's been a part of KMM last year and this year. Now, Pramila says, Naren, I know the ICSE schools. I'm very well connected to 1,000 plus principals. I know people in the ICSE board. Allow me to drive collaboration at that level with the principals and the board at to build the nation. I will drive that. I just need two volunteers, or I need this asset, or I need this resource, or I need this PDF, but I am going to create collaborations. Oh, we need somebody who can drive collaborations. This year, we are also doing something very, very interesting. This year, we are not doing Keep Moving movement only for students. That we will do, certainly. That's the base of KMM. But this year, we are also planning to have 7 sessions for teachers. So, which means if I have a session on the magic of thinking big, and you deliver that session inside the classrooms to the students called Magic of Thinking Big, think world class, think world scale. I will have a session with teachers talking to them about the magic of thinking big for their lives and how they can integrate this idea of magic of thinking big in their teachings with the children inside the classroom. Now, which means this time, KMM sessions will be delivered to children. But along with children, what we are also doing is we are delivering these sessions to the teachers. And therefore, when the teachers can hammer this idea again and again through their intervention in their schools to the class, oof, maza aa jayega. So maybe a few of you can say, Naren, I don't enjoy the idea of going to the schools as a speaker because kids and the youth are not my thing, but I'm brilliant in coordination. So if we have to coordinate between 300 schools, register their teachers, and execute these 7 sessions for these teachers, I put my hand up, please make me coordinate this. I would love to drive that on the national level. So one of you can say, okay, what I'm going to do is I am going to drive the teacher sessions. Obviously, that session will be on Zoom. And let's see if we have 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 teachers attending online and their life going through a transformation. This year, we also have sessions for parents inside the school on the same thing like Magic of Thinking Big. Which means with the school authorities, we'll coordinate and say, these are the dates for the parents. These are the dates for the children. These are the dates for the students. And we tell them that these are the dates. Please spread it to your parents. And when the parents come, we get their registration so that we can send them direct reminders as well as to the schools. And imagine with the parents also, we are talking about the magic of thinking big. So we are doing a session on magic of thinking big with the children. We are doing a session of magic of thinking with the teachers as well as with the parents. Now together, can you imagine the depth of the impact? बहुत मजा आएगा. Let's say some of you over here are ustads in data analytics. And you say, I eat data, breathe the data, drink data, sleep data. Data is what I live for. So Naren, in KMM, whatever we do, I will do data analytics and create insights which will help us to take beautiful decisions for the future. Let's say some of you over here are saying that, Naren, I am an MBA student. I do a lot of teaching and presentations, or I am a teacher in a college. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create case studies. Let's say the impact of KMM in government schools, impact of KMM on the uber rich schools, impact of KMM on the volunteers. I don't know how many case studies can be created, but if you are one of those person who says, I know what data to get, I know from whom to take data, I know whom to ask a million questions, but this year, let's see if we can create some case studies and then spread these case studies to people who can be influencers and collaborate with them and take the work of KMM to million more lives. This year, we will be interviewing the students, the volunteers, the parents, the principals, and educationists So maybe a few of you will say, we love interviewing. We will coordinate with the schools, the teachers, the principals, the students, and we'll have a set of interviews. And we'll share those interviews with people out there to understand. Let's see what all can be done. As we sit with the team, we realize that these are some of the things which can definitely be done besides being a speaker and a partner in schools. For some reason, I believe that this year KMM will be the most powerful of the KMMs that we have done in our lifetime. This will be 2001 we started. So this is year number 21 for us. 22? Okay, 22, Harsha tells me. The theme this year is high impact and high skill. What are we doing different in these sessions this year? Every school will get a report card. So let's say we are doing it in Erin Nagarwala. So in Erin Nagarwala, we will give them a report card. So there were these 5 speakers. These are the teachers who were there. These are the dates of the session. These are the number of students who came. These are the sharings done by the students. These are the gems that we think we have found who can be nurtured. These are the people who helped us. And in cooperation, your school stands in the top 20% of all the schools nationally in Keep Moving movement. So this year, every school will come to know whether they are in the top 10%, top 20%, or they're in the bottom 20%. And chances are, every year we'll cull a few schools, which means we will not go back to these schools where if they fall in, let's say, the bottom 10%. So every school gets a report card. For the first time ever, and it's a matter of huge discipline for me, every session the children will get the pre-read for the next session. Which means in session number 2, they will be given a small brief on what session number 3 is all going to be about. So that they can come with their questions, they can come with their thoughts, they can come with their research. And that will make the session very, very interesting. So every session we'll give them a pre-read. This year we are also thinking of hosting a helpline number. And we'll ask you to share it with all the students saying, for your life, in case there is anything where you want a safe space and you want somebody to know what you're going through or you want a solution, just message this number. So it's not going to be a call this number, it's going to be a message this number. When you message this number, somebody in some time will either message you back or somebody will call you back and we'll see how to solve it. Of course, we are going to have a session for teachers and for parenting. This year, we are onboarding a very qualified psychologist with more than 40 years of experience. And we are taking their help in creating an assessment platform. How is it that we can do an assessment of the impact that we are creating? So Shefali goes and takes a session. Is there a way by which she can find out the impact that she had? What she did which created an impact? What she thought was great, did it register with students or not? Are we covering what the students actually need, or are we missing out what the students actually need? So this year we want to do an impact assessment so that over the next 2-3 years, we should have maximum impact possible. This year for the students, of course, there is going to be Star of the Future that ride in the Mercedes Benz. This year, the speakers are also requested to identify 3 champions inside their classroom. So let's say Swati goes to AW Sindhu Vidya Bhavan to take the session there. Now, in these 7 sessions, one of the things that she's looking forward to is, who are these 3 students whom I can predict are going to excel in their life? So let's say if we are 500 volunteers and we are going and taking 500 sessions inside the school directly, uh, can we identify 1,500 possible champions? And can we do a nurturing program for these 1,500 possible champions? Right in the first session, can we make this announcement that this is what we are attempting to do or wanting to do? So, those of you who are attentive, who are participative, who are regular, who are collaborative, who are contributors, you will get a chance to participate in a very intense, very powerful program which will exclusively be consisting of these possible future champions. Which means at one end, academically, we have the stars of the future. At the other end, we also have a nurturing program for these youth over a period of time. So after the 10th, we can have probably a career fair for them. Just before 10th, we can have a session where we pump them up and make them stay focused, etc., etc. So this is an idea where we can nurture these children across and create champions for them. I am very excited with Keep Moving movement and the way it is shaping up for this year. And I realize there is lot of work. And you would love every person present over here to register as a volunteer of Keep Moving movement, either as a speaker or as a partner or volunteering your expert help in some of these areas that I've just explained. If there's another area where you think I was not able to cover and you say, Naren, ye bhi ek area hai jahan kaam hona chahiye, and this I'm willing to take or participate or lead, it will be very, very beautiful and I will be super, super, super grateful to you. I now move towards the end of the program, and like I announced in the beginning, I'm going to talk to you about 4 regrets and how is it that we can manage and conquer these 4 regrets. Interviewing hundreds of people on their deathbed revealed interesting insights on what people regret the most. There are 4 kinds of regret that people have. Different people express their regrets in different words and different visuals. But on deeper dive, the research has found there are just 4 regrets. And these 4 regrets create the acronym MICE. What are these 4 regrets? Regret number 1, moral regret. Regret number 2, initiative regret. Regret number 3, courage regret. And regret number 4, effort regret. So MICE, mice. Even if you have not heard anything carefully so far in today's life lesson, give me the next 10 minutes of your life. Life of regrets is the most unfortunate life. First, let me explain these 4 regrets a little. Then I'll also share with you how to conquer these 4 regrets of life. Moral regret. Moral regret means you and me thinking, Are yaar, I should have done the right thing, but I did not. That's a moral regret. I know what is right, but I hesitated. It can be standing up to somebody. It can be in greed, you cheated someone or you did not give to others what they deserved. So लालच आ गया. Moral regret. You should have stood by your wife when she's struggling but you allowed others to dominate her and exploit her goodness. You did well as a husband one to one, but in one to many, as a husband, you failed. And you may carry a regret. यार मेरी वाइफ को बहुत तकलीफ हुआ, मैं ना स्ट्रांग नहीं था. Moral regret. Let's say, for example, I'll give you another example. You run a company, you have 100 employees. You know, somebody is doing a great job, and let's say you are paying them 30,000. You know their value is 40,000, but they are not asking for a raise, so you're not increasing their salary. You have a little delight कि यार 40,000 का आदमी है, मांगे तो 40 भी दे दूंगा, 30 ही मांग रहा है, मैं तो 30 ही दे रहा हूं. So you delight in saving that 10,000. But you're also a little scared. Tomorrow, if he comes and says, Boss, I trusted you. I trusted you. I trusted you to be fair with me. But you did not give me what I deserved. And you might have a moral regret. You are into a habit. You smoke, you drink, you gamble, and you do it chupa chupa ke. Moral regret. Moral regret is, I should have done the right thing, but I did not. Then is initiative regret. What is initiative regret? I should have reached out. I should have asked, but I did not. Is initiative regret. Let's say Bhavna is here, and I know Bhavna is going through a tough time. I should have called her and asked, Darling, is there anything I can do for you? I should take the initiative. What is the point of love? If I'm not able to help people whom I know need help, and I have the power to help those people who need help, if I can do that, then what is love? What is affection? What is relationship? This is initiative regret. You'll have a moral regret if they ask you for help, you can help, but then you said sorry, nahi ho paega. Then that becomes a moral regret. Yeah, I could have helped, but I did not. I escaped. Initiative is, I have the intelligence, I have the ability, I have the resources, I have the time. थोड़ा इनिशिएटिव लेना था, नहीं लिया मैंने. Initiative regret. Somebody has self doubts. Within 5 minutes, you can talk to them and remind them about the success they have produced multiple times in their past. And with that reminder, you can tell them, तुम कर लोगे यार. You have climbed so many mountains. This thing is not even a mountain. ये तो हिल भी नहीं है. ये तो hillock है. Effortlessly you will cross it. चल जा. You have it with you. You can do that. But initiative नहीं लिया ना. So then it ends as an initiative regret. The third is courage regret. I had the opportunity. I could have seized it, but I did not. I had the opportunity. I should have broken my comfort zone, but I did not. हिम्मत नहीं था, इसके लिए नुकसान कर दिया. अरे किस्मत अगर सब कुछ होती तो हाथ देता ही नहीं ना, सिर्फ सिर देता था। हाथ दिया है मतलब क्या है? करो। कर also means hand, and kar also means action. So courage regret is हिम्मत नहीं हुआ, stayed in comfort zone, thought somebody else will come and solve it, अपन जाने देते हैं. And the fourth regret is called the effort regret. I did it half-heartedly. I did it with low quality. I pretended I have done a lot, but actually I escaped. I did not excel. तन मन धन लगा के नहीं किया, सिर्फ करने के लिए किया. You know, in a family where there is marriage, you go, you participate, you dance, you also help people, you enjoy, you have lovely food, and you come back saying मजा आ गया है, और शादी में आप completely involved थे. Versus you go to a marriage, stay in your room, check your WhatsApp, watch TV, come down during reception at 9:30, go back to your room at 10:15 क्योंकि खाना पीना हो गया. That you don't even register the presence in marriage, and it would have made no difference if you were absent also. So one is you went and really enjoyed, and the other is you did it just physically, but otherwise mentally, intellectually, emotionally, you were not even there. Next 2 months, you will see a lot of this happening because holiday season is there. कहाँ जा रहे हैं? छुट्टी में जा रहे हैं. छुट्टी में क्या कर रहे हैं? हमारा फोन साथ में, हमारा लैपटॉप साथ में, वर्क फ्रॉम होम है, वो वर्क फ्रॉम हॉलीडे नहीं होता है. And some people, for some reason, think holiday means you should travel a lot. And they come back so tired from a holiday that after a holiday, they need a holiday. Do you know such people? Back from holiday, they are tired. Arey, holiday means it should regenerate you. It should give you the energy for the full year. You can't be tired out of a holiday. If you are tired, that it means you did not holiday properly. You know, some of you are unmarried, and it's so strange that some people go to honeymoon in groups. मैं अभी भी नहीं जाते. दे वेट, वो हमारे दो दोस्त और हैं, उनका 2 महीने के बाद शादी है, हम लोग इकट्ठे जाएंगे. हनीमून, which means only romance. This is not friendship trip. हम लोग बोर हो गए तो अबे तेरी अभी शादी हुई है. And if you are thinking in 3 days you will get bored of each other, then I have to seriously question your decision making process. Then why don't you get married to a stand-up comedian? You will never get bored. Those of you who are not married, when you marry, go to honeymoon with your life partner. I'm not saying go alone because it's pointless. Go with only your life partner. And don't go in a package tour with 50 more couples. बाप रे, कितना पैसा बचाएगा मालूम नहीं. Effort regret. I should have given my 100%, but I did only half-heartedly. You know, darlings, when I scanned my life, I found I have moral regret, I have initiative regret, I have courage regret, I have effort regrets. As I scanned my life, I looked at my responsibilities, my attitudes, my behavior, my choices, my convictions. And I realized I have all four regrets. But then to my delight, I realized All these four regrets can be avoided in the future. To defeat moral regret, I need to conquer greed, develop stronger values, and act with prudence. Can be done. To defeat initiative regret, I need to defeat my lethargy and develop a sense of urgency around helping myself and helping others. Defeat lethargy and develop a sense of urgency. To defeat courage regret, I just need to outgrow my fears and take things head on. Can be done. To defeat effort regret, I just need to break my comfort zones and nurture a passion for excellence. Can be done. You know, darling, what did I realize? I realized that when I conquer these four regrets, I will live my life with the deep belief that no matter what, I will win and I am a good human being. This belief will be so strong and deep that it will be contagious and it will make magic happen. I'm looking forward to the rest of my life where I can conquer this mice and roar like a lion. If you wish to roar like that, if you wish India to roar like that, then join Kmm. This year, what I'm also promising is through Keep Moving movement, for you, let's conquer these four regrets. I will share with you something very personal now. And with that, in 2 minutes, we wind up this session. While you assume the responsibility of transforming those 40, 50 lives inside your classroom, and on behalf of those children, the parents, and the nation, I express my gratitude for you. As a reward, I believe I should be able to give you something exceptional. What is it that I can give to you? I can give to you tools by which you live a life of no regrets. Why you live a life where you become a contributor in the lives of those children and transform their lives. It becomes Keep Moving movement's moral responsibility to transform your life. While you will create time, make certain adjustments, be committed and deliver excellence selflessly. Because when you do that, your entire approach is what can I do to build my nation? What can I do to build these children? And as I take the classroom, I am not looking at somebody who's troubling me, somebody who's not disciplined, somebody who's not paying attention. I'm looking at future stars. I'm looking at some of them going to such great heights in their life that it will lift the country, if not humanity. And for these children, can I make today's session the turning point? They may behave as if they are not listening, but if one core idea goes and settles inside their brain and becomes the turning point in their life, in the future, when an autobiography is written or a biography is written on them, somewhere they should mention When I was 15 and a half years old and I was studying in the school, through Keep Moving movement, a Ritesh More sir had come and he told us that you are much bigger than fear. Never let fear decide what you want to do. Always let courage decide what you want to do. The way Ritesh More sir said that, that sentence has become a part of my conscious and my subconscious mind and it guides me. And through that, I have conquered the challenges of my life and reached where I have reached. Now, when Ritesh and all of you take the session inside the classroom, you have no idea which student is attentively listening to which statement of yours, and which statement of yours will become the turning point of their life. It will, it does. And my promise to you in these 7 sessions, you will have enough such moments which will transform your life downside up. Let's discover our own greatness this year in Keep Moving movement. Let's help those children discover their greatness this year in Keep Moving movement. Let's create that triangle of Keep Moving movement, the schools, and the students. Work with the students, the teachers, and the parents. And let's create some magic this year through Keep Moving movement. Those of you who have registered, we have your contact details. We'll also share the link in case you want on your WhatsApp or email. Please join hands and Keep Moving movement. And let's do our bit to lift ourselves and lift our country. In case you have any questions, send a message to 77210 65 All of you have Keep Moving movement's number. And I will look forward to seeing you for the first session of Keep Moving movement in a few weeks' time. Thank you so much. Love you all and have a great time. Thank you.